This is warm-ups.
Oh, we are unmuted. Hello.
Yeah, hello. Ooh, got a good match for you today. UnwaryTuba versus 77 versus Marcu. I'm Yellow Jello. That's Foxy with me today. How we doing?
Hello, good morning. Well, good evening for the Australians.
Yeah. A nice, clean 10 PM for us here. And this is about to be a pretty exciting match, I think. UnwaryTuba versus Marcu. See, 36 versus 29, another close-seated matchup. Pretty interesting in terms of dynamic too. Both of these players are pretty well known around the sort of 5-digit to 4-digit scene in terms of like 20 performances. UnwaryTuba a solid player, a bit more specialized on hard rock, whereas Marcu's kind of been all around the place, playing a little bit of everything. I think generally you'd give Marcu the advantage in match, but I think UnwaryTuba actually has a pretty interesting angle in this match, in the low SR means that he has access to some of the just like all-rounder consistency that he might not typically have on higher SR. So we'll have to see if he can use that to his advantage this match as we get past the first warm-up.
Yeah, I know Marcu was what I believe is speed team for 5WC, if I'm not wrong, and UnwaryTuba.
Yes, I play with Marcu, this 5WC and B team.
Yeah. So Marc is definitely a good player. Australia this year was insane, so it makes sense for him to be B team, but he's still a really good player. And I feel like he does have the advantage even on this SR because he is used to this lower SR things to being in lower rank ranges like 5-digit. But I'm not sure how much of an advantage this gives him. This is still like kind of a 50-50 match, especially since both these players are tourney players, as far as I know. I've seen both of these in tournaments before.
Yeah, I played with Marcu this 5WC in the B team. He was probably one of the best players in the team for sure. I think there's no doubt on that front in my mind.
Yeah, that's honestly understandable, yeah. I know Mark, who was like, I repped the tryouts for 5WCB team, I'm pretty sure, and I know that he was like pretty much on everything, and I think he left for only like hidden 2. So I feel like that's gonna be one of the bans, right? But yeah.
I don't think Marcu bans hidden 2 into Tuba. Tuba is pretty much a hard rock specialist.
No,
I don't think he wants to be playing hard rock whatsoever. I think it is probably going to be the other way around, frankly.
Yeah, that's understandable. That's fair. This is a warm-up of all time.
Yeah, that's one way of putting it. Looking at this full screen warm-up, looks like UnwaryTuba might have a bit of an advantage on the just raw aim here. Might be looking for those no-mob ones, hidden ones, similar sorts of angles this match.
How good is Marcu on things like gimmick and tapping overall?
Gimmick and tapping, his tapping is decent. I wouldn't say it's like his strongest skill set, but like he can definitely play it. Gimmick, it depends on what kind of gimmick, I think. If it's super intensive reading, like maybe he has to take a backseat, but like on simpler reading he can definitely play.
Yeah, that's fair. Because I feel like looking
at I think about the...
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, remembering the oh, okay. yeah, you go first,
Looking at it here, I feel like this is gonna be an aim player against aim player, and with the SR, it's kind of a 50-50, just because of that, because I kind of agree. Tapping or gimmick.
I think Marcu definitely has slightly better coverage in the pool. I think picks like DT3, Nomad 5, I think Marcu probably has the edge to win on this one. I'm not saying hidden 2 because I'm expecting that to be banned, but picks like that, I definitely think Marcu has the advantage on. Beyond that, it's kind of just like, where can Tuba take advantage? The answer is most likely in the hard rock pool, and then it's just a bunch of coin flips, which leads for a pretty interesting dynamic.
Yeah, that's honestly fair. That's gonna be a really fun match because with that, since both these players are kind of also the same skill level, like even despite seeding, like this is probably the closest match we'll have. I'm not sure if there's been a tiebreaker so far. I've not checked, but yeah.
There has been a tiebreaker. It was on stream. We had Shower Piss versus Fault, which was an extremely good match that I recommend you go catch up on if you didn't see it yourself.
I see.
Alright. We are getting into pick bans now, though. Looks like Tuba's taking second pick. Most likely Marcu was second ban in that case.
Yeah, most likely. Second ban here is the best option. What are we expecting for bans?
Yep.
We know that probably Hidden 2
Expecting...
is getting banned by someone.
Yes. Hidden 2 ban, and then... Marcu's got options. Might look for a Hard Rock 2 ban. Tuba being a Hard Rock specialist, you might want to get rid of the most Hard Rock intensive pick, but no, he goes for the... Tuba going for the 10.3 ban is not what I expected. Yeah, Hard Rock 1 ban from Marcu definitely much more up the alley of conventional expectations. Interesting that Tuba considers himself on the underdog on the 10.3. I am not actually that familiar with how good his 10.3 reading is, though, to be fair.
I mean, it is also kind of low SR, and DT1 is one of those, like, really simple maps that, like, even in earlier matches we saw both players basically FCing until the end, so it might just be like a doesn't want to risk it because it's kind of a coin flip.
It's possible. Ooh, Marcu's sent for DT3.
Oh, wow. The funny map.
Yeah, I mean, that's... Yeah. That makes sense to me. DT3, one of those maps where you've got two skill sets, ult and low AR. If you can't play either, you're gonna have a rough time.
Yeah, and I feel like Marcu can kind of play both. I don't think he excels at either of them, but he's gonna be way better than probably Tuba is gonna be, especially because of the AR9, which does make this like surprisingly dense actually.
I do think Marcu's quite good on the alternator, so if his reading is in form for this, I could very easily see an FC coming out here from him.
Yeah, this is also kind of a short map. I believe this is only like a minute after.
A minute after DT, correct. It says 2 minutes 10 on like the in the bottom left corner, but like a decent chunk of the intro is just like not mapped, so it only ends up being a minute of game time. Marcu wants to play the again. We've been having that issue a fair bit throughout the stream here, which has been unfortunate, but should be able to get a panic and then get that back to the here. Oh, looking to block Marcu.
I love that. There we go.
Back, how are we looking?
Yeah, Marcu with an insane accuracy and
yeah, Tuba having an early drop apparently missed. Has got into it. But looking at 92% action on Tuba, not looking too hot for him. Ooh, a very early miss from Marcu here.
I mean, again, kind of a really hard match, so this actually doesn't matter more than it would. If Tuba holds here, which it does look like they will, this is definitely possible, but if they break, I fully think it's gonna be over.
I mean, a 100 combo is a lot bigger than it looks like when it comes to ooh, does kind of drop though. But yeah, with a map short of this, a 100 combo advantage might have just been enough to hold that, but if that miss again, looks like Marcu's comfortable in the driver's seat here.
Yeah, Marcu holds the combo, has what I believe is an earthquake happen on the flyer, and that is going to be basically instant point for Marcu. There's not much that Tuba can do here. There's 10 seconds from the map left, maybe 15. And even though Marcu is dropping Tuba does have combo, he doesn't have nearly the accuracy to bring this back, and this map is gonna go to Marcu, first point to him.
Yeah, maybe not as strong of a showing as he would have liked to put up, but very much shows that he was the more comfortable player in that skill set.
Yeah, I think Tuba actually had a pretty decent shot here, to be fair, especially with the early break. Insta-picks Nomad 4 here as well.
Respectable, sure.
Yeah.
I think this was Marcu's all the way, quite frankly.
Yeah, most likely. I mean, Marco did have a few
Yeah.
unfortunate breaks, and if more of those happened, it was possible, but it is what it is here.
Yeah. I think there was just a very clear difference in comfort there that while Tuba did have that short combo lead that he was starting to build back, just the overall proficiency from Marcu allowed him to take that even with what is probably an underperformance from his standards.
Now, what is this no mod for? I've not seen this no mod
This
for.
is just pure tech. It hasn't been streamed much. I believe the first time we saw it was earlier today in the... It was a high seed low seed match. I forget who it was though.
I see. Hold on, let me check the results channel real quick.
Yeah.
I believe RTX Albatross, if that got streamed?
RTX Albatross did not get streamed, but there was I think it was like, his name was like M11, something along those lines.
I see.
Forget his full name, but we saw that and we saw the DT2, which both had not been streamed until that point.
I see. Well, second time for no mod 4 done, as Marco has a 2% accuracy lead, but very early not
It was
virtually at all.
I believe it was Pewdo versus M11.
Ah, yeah, fair.
Marco with an early accuracy lead, but not going to matter too much. This map is plenty of time to show off your skills.
Yeah, I feel like these are not gonna matter at all, because we've not really gotten into the real meat of this map, we've not gotten into the real tech so far. So as we
sort of start to get into the meat and potatoes here. Getting into the build-up.
Yeah, the build-up here. Marcu finds a break. As Tuba holds through the tech section, does not find a break, even on the slow sliders. And Tuba's running away with the score, getting that accuracy up as well.
Yeah, quite potentially a lack of practice here from Marcu, leading to his downfall as he misses on that. Fairly difficult pattern, quite frankly, but if you're prepared for it, I feel like it's not going to catch you out too often, but... And now we see what Marcu's really struggling on. Somewhat infamous for struggling on hitting sliders. As he is dropping a fair number of slider heads here.
Yeah, on the other hand, you have Tuba seeing 98% accuracy so far on an insanely good score here. If they do keep holding, this is going to be a really good score to start off with your first pick. As we get into another slower section, we get into a section where players get to rest a little bit. Marcu builds up a little bit of combo as well, but on an uphill battle here, he breaks, needed Tuba to break a lot sooner. And this is looking a very not doable for Marcu here.
Yeah, I mean, UnwaryTuba is already double Marcu's score. Remaining with the combo advantage, and I mean, quite frankly, I think this is really good for Tuba this match, considering Tuba's status as a hard rock specialist. You sort of know he can take the points on these hard rock picks, hard rock 2, hard rock 3 still being open. However, there is that question mark on whether he can perform on these wider like mud pools. So considering he's taking an early point on this no 1-4 is a really good sign.
Yeah, I feel like another thing for this map, it seems that Marcu is overall struggling with finger control a little bit as well, looking at it, so that could be another angle that Tuba goes into next. As he is very comfortably holding, still on 98% accuracy as well. So this is looking like very much a done deal. I do not believe there's a universe where Tuba can lose this. He hits the slider stream as well.
No.
And that is kind of a done deal, I believe.
A comfortable 450k ahead, there's no way he's not taking this point straight to the bank. And I mean, I'm not quite sure you could take finger control picks here against Marcu. Considering he had the advantage in the DT3, you can't really call the... you could consider the number 5 a finger control pick, but I think, considering its reading components, Marcu is once again the favorite on that map. It means if you're going into the control-oriented picks, you probably have to look at D2, maybe Nomad... Oh! Looks like Marcu's had enough here. Maybe the Hard Rock 3 as well, which I think Tuba was looking to pick anyway.
Yeah,
although, not sure how good Tuba's high BPM is, which does leave some question marks.
I mean, we've seen a lot of upsets on the Hard Rock 3, especially one earlier where the swing section can somewhat decide maps as well. But I feel like for this match, it's specifically, it's not really gonna be that much of an issue. I feel like Tuba is kind of gonna take that, even though Marco does have a really good shot on it as well. So
Marcu knows
picked
instantly what he wants to
hidden
pick, though.
instantly.
No surprise there. Angling on his reading advantage and UnwaryTuba's significant lack of reading advantage.
Yeah, this makes a lot of sense. I'm very surprised Tuba didn't ban this. I feel like this is a way better ban than DT1. But it is what it is.
I'm in
Maybe
the same
Tuba's
boat, but
comfortable.
I mean, it is an aim map. Tuba is quite confident in aim. Let's see if that can make up for the assumed reading disadvantage that Tuba has here.
Yeah, I don't think this has that much reading. Oh, Marcu's back on Nomad 4. What is happening with Bancho?
Is what it is.
There we go.
Alright, let's get into this.
Starting off with a very simple section, not that much reading in this one. Both players holding combos. No break so far, a little bit of an ag drop on Marcu, but that's not going to matter. This map is almost 3 minutes. Any ag drops or breaks this early are not going to matter too much. Tuba does find a break on the straight pattern. Could we get into the first guy here? Are we gonna see Mistreat Tuba first one to Mistreat Marcu, looking more and more comfortable as the map goes on?
Yeah, I mean, that linear break is really doing a lot of damage to Tuba here. Only down 170 combo, but 3% AC on top of that is feeling pretty rough already.
Yeah, I mean, even just overall, Marcus...
out yet, but...
Yeah. Marcus just
not
looking
necessarily
more
check
comfortable
out.
on the reading.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, that's sort of what we expected coming in. And it really does make you wonder why, if Tuba really thought the DT1 was so much of a disadvantage for him that he had to leave the hidden 2 open over this, but Marcu's certainly appreciative of it. And he's going to take it to the bank here with 400 combo, 99% AC. Looking super comfortable in this.
Yeah, I feel like there's still a little bit of a comeback opportunity. The score's not that high so far, and Tuba does have some accuracy. He's not completely lost so far. But it is an uphill battle. Tuba does kind of need to hold for the rest of the map and Marcu to break, which, looking at Marcu and how comfortably he's been reading all of these back and forth patterns that we've been seeing, I do not believe that's gonna happen. Unless there's just some random miss on a jump, which so far does not look like will happen. Marcu's just too comfortable.
Marcu's already FC through 3/4 of the map. I think it might just be a lock here already. I don't know if we're going to see, even with an FC, Tuba get to 550 from the rest of the map, if Tuba to get to 550k by the end of this. And with another miss, it's going to steal it. Marcu does find his own break, but has done more than enough to secure this point.
Yeah, no FC on the hidden 2, unfortunately, but a win is a win. Marcu very much overall in the lead. So far, picks have been somewhat dominant for both players. Only the DT3 was somewhat close, but even then, there was always never a real possibility. Tuba was winning that as well. So it looks like players have their own comfortability picks. I feel like after this, we're going to be seeing most likely Hard Rock 2. At least that's what it feels
2,
like.
yeah. That's the expectation. Could also see a number 1, but I don't think that's the angle you want to go into Marcu. Marcu can definitely play these number 1s. Could go for the hidden one if he's feeling that. Certainly possible. But I feel like the Hard Rock 2 is a done deal at this point.
Yeah, everything's kind of a good option. I feel like the only thing that we're really not gonna see is something like Nomad 2. Possibly Nomad 3 is not gonna get picked, because I feel like that's another point that Marcu kind of wants, which could be his next pick as well. I think.
I could see Marcu picking the Nomad 3 for sure. I think Marcu's looking at the Nomad 5 first. I think Marcu's looking at the... Yeah, probably the Nomad 5 first, and then include England to the Nomad 3 after that. It is probably also looking at the hidden 3, but might be worried that Tuba is able to just FC that based on comfort alone. Not that he's the most capable on the hidden skill sets in comparison to Marcu, but we do see the Hard Rock 2 here.
Honestly, very much expected. Hard Rock is kind of Tuba's one saving grace here that he can go into at any point and kind of do well on. With Hard Rock 3 being a little on the edge thanks to that swing section in the middle that we have seen swing matches before as well. But this Hard Rock 2 very much in favor of Tuba. A miracle is gonna have to happen here for Marcu to have a realistic chance of bringing this back without needing that miracle himself.
I mean, to be fair, we're talking about the swing section here, but we haven't actually seen how confident Tuba is on the tapping. If Tuba's high BPM tapping isn't quite there for the Hard Rock 3, he might actually not be 100% comfortable taking that pick.
That is true as well.
But looking at what we've got so far, we've got this flow-oriented Hard Rock 2 here. Expecting Tuba to take the pick, but it's low SR. Marcu could certainly have a competitive score here, or even a breakpoint himself.
I mean, Marcu's not bad at Hard Rock by any means, to be fair. Marcu is still a pretty decent Hard Rock player, so this is not completely lost, but it's very much in favor of Tuba. Also, something to note, we've only seen maps below what I believe is 180 BPM. We've not seen anything high BPM, so once we get into that, this match is going to get very interesting.
Yeah, it's sort of a question of who's going to pull the trigger. And to be fair, I don't necessarily think either player is unable to play those simpler 200 picks. Like the Noah one, the hidden one, I think both players can play that. It's the one into that Hard Rock 3, maybe if someone's feeling confident on a DT2. That's when question marks start coming up. Both players looking fairly confident at this moment, and with Marcu in the lead. Very small lead, but...
Oh, Marcu finds the break.
Let's give the lead to Tuba. Yeah, and go see how long Tuba can build up this combo. Neither players have particularly stellar act, but when acts are even, it just depends on combo, and Tuba out in spades at the moment.
Especially if Marcu missing again, that is not what you want to see. Good accuracy, but that combo's not there. Accuracy is also diminishing very slowly, as I believe they're 0.3% apart at this point, which is not an ag lead that you want to be at with while being down 500 combo here. Especially in this slow section, the players get to rest up a little bit from all of this flow. And Tuba is 200k in the lead, looking like an insurmountable score to catch up to for Marcu here.
Yeah, it's not exactly the accuracy I think he wanted, but with a combo lead this dominant, you can't really complain, can you? 460k and growing, looking to see if he can secure that FC here.
I mean, even if he does an FC, I don't think Marcu has enough map left to bring this back. I don't think there's enough density. They both find breaks, and that is kind of a set deal. Neither side has combo. The score is not going to move too much. Marcu finding another break. And that's going to be a point for Tuba. Another decisive win for the players here.
For sure. I mean, seeing how confident you were on that Hard Rock victory there, that probably gave you the confidence you need to say, you know what, I'm just going into the Hard Rock 3 next. There is still another pick between them, but we'll have to see if that ends up being true. Like, yeah, just looking at that, 12 misses to 2, just shows how much more confident his Tuba is in the Hard Rock at this moment, especially on the precision. Pick is back to Marcu, though.
DT2 getting picked. Going into the first high BPM map, actually.
Interesting. Here. Yeah, this is going to answer a lot of questions that we have.
Yeah, I mean, another thing about this map, right, it's also 9.7, so the players might be a little more comfortable on this than they will be on the Hard Rock 3, because AR 10 speed is a different kind of world to 9.7, especially DT against Hard Rock.
Yeah, for sure.
So, I believe this is favored towards Marcu, but I'm not sure about Hard Rock 3. That could still be in favor of Tuba, honestly.
Yeah, the players were actually talking to me earlier about this map. It seemed like consensus this is probably one of the harder maps in the pool, considering it's at 280 BPM. Bursts are relatively short, but there is a decent amount of finger control in this, which means it does have a fairly wide range of skill sets testing for what is kind of just a real speed pick. So it ends up diversifying itself a bit. That makes it pretty challenging. I'll have to see if Marcu has the confidence to take this pick, though.
I mean, it was an insta-pick. It does seem like he's comfortable on this map. It is, as you mentioned, it's hard. It's a harder map in the pool. I feel like Tuba, because of skill cap, could have a chance here as well. But that very much depends on how they do and how comfortable they are. Finally, a high BPM as well here.
The issue there is that when you think of Tuba's skill ceiling advantage, it's mostly on the aim. It's not really on the tapping.
Yeah, that's fair.
But Marcu doesn't really miss. We'll have to see if Tuba's alternating skill can keep him to the clear.
It certainly does look like it as he's holding up that 250 combo. Not an accuracy at all, but it is enough to keep him somewhat closing in on the lead. Marcu was also a banjo break from what I'm seeing. He still has his combo.
Oh, okay. Both players remain with the combo. And in that case, it looks like Tuba's struck a fair bit more. And with that break especially, it's going to make it a very difficult match for Tuba to take. Lead ballooning all the way to 60k. Just off that, what, not even 10-20 seconds?
Yeah,
does find a miss.
I mean, a miss here doesn't matter much.
Yeah,
2% break accuracy. Yeah, 3% accuracy as well lead on Marcu, which at this point with no combo, that is kind of the deciding factor. Tuba really needs Marcu to drop that accuracy and be at least even, if not below as well. I'm not sure if even could even save him here, even if Marcu breaks. I don't think so.
Absolutely. Angling to doubling his score. About 300k to 400k. Has the act lead, has the combo lead. Does find break there critically, but I don't think there's 100k worth of score for Tuba to make up here.
I mean, is there enough density in this map? I don't think there is. Even in DT standards, this is around a 50k score to make up. Give or take, 50-60k.
Yeah.
Which, if Marcu breaks again, is entirely doable, but...
Yeah, but we're at the end of the map here. Yeah, job's done. Marcu takes it by 60k. And now this does leave a pretty important question in our heads. Does Tuba take the Hard Rock 3? Because he did seem so much more confident on that Hard Rock 2, but he has just lost the tapping pick.
Granted, it is only by 60k. That seems like it's just an accuracy difference here, honestly. So if he really wants to, I don't think Hard Rock 3 is a bad pick. It's just a very risky one.
Yeah, I agree, especially considering, looking at the DT2, it's 282 BPM. If you're just speed cap, that's just so damaging to you. That Hard Rock 3 is definitely a fair bit more accessible in terms of raw BPM. Does look for the Noah 1 though, which is a pretty risky pick here.
Yeah,
both players should be perfectly comfortable in this.
Nomad 1 is always kind of a risky pick, regardless of who you're playing, and both of these players are aim players. I feel like this is so incredibly risky. I'm not sure if this is a good pick just because of it being Nomad 1.
I'm not sure it had to be picked. I think UnwaryTuba's game plan this match was something between the 3 remaining picks of Nomad 1, Hidden 1, Hard Rock 3. So if he wasn't feeling one of those 2 picks, I guess he has to go with this at some point. But that doesn't change just how flippy it is. Especially considering this is still at low SR, where the mechanical demand for both players is a fair bit lower, meaning we could just see a double FC here that's broken by AC.
Yeah, I don't think this map is particularly hard to act, to be fair. Even on lower seeds, I've seen players being
we've seen some
accuracy.
Yeah, we've seen some pretty good scores from pretty much the whole field of players on this map. We do get into it though. And this is once again going to answer a lot of questions for us on who's really confident to sort of bring this map to either tiebreaker or just a clean win.
This is also another high BPM thing, and we did see Tuba also bat DQ1, which is a high BPM aim similar to this. So if that was an AR gap or if that was a BPM gap, it's up in the air here, but it's currently looking like it was just AR as Tuba is SSing through the first sections here.
Yeah, I don't think Tuba's crazy renowned when it comes to like high BPM, but this is 220 isn't excessive in terms of BPM. Additionally, this map isn't too difficult in terms of the spacing of its tapping. A lot of it's very small in spacing. Ends up being mostly just a 220 aim best, with a couple of stamina checks in the middle. Tuba does drop a little bit more out there, but does hold his combo critically. Marcu hold that extremely impressive 99.5.
Yeah, this is just the accuracy at the moment. Both players are looking really comfortable, and this does look like we will be seeing a double FC. It's just, will Marcu drop enough accuracy for Tuba?
Okay. Let's not get that confident just quite yet. Anything could happen, but both players do look poised to do so.
I mean, I feel like a lot of the action up happen on the burst, so that could be where we see breaks, honestly. I don't think the aim is going to be that much of an issue for any of these players.
Yeah, and we're seeing why we both call this a risky pick for Tuba here, considering just how confident both players are on this. Marcu finds a breakthrough critically. Tuba's ballooning out in terms of the score lead. There's nothing Marcu can do here. It's his pick. Take it to 3-3. Doesn't matter.
That chain miss was insanely good for Tuba here. Marcu chain missing on a burst, losing so much accuracy and combo. Equal accuracy at this moment. That's just 0.03% up in Marcu's favor, but that's really negligible. And Tuba managed to hold just a little longer to get a score lead of almost 100k, which if both players hold here, which it does look like they will, it's basically over. Tuba, despite how risky this pick was looking just a little bit ago, is going to be taking this, bringing us to 3-3.
Sometimes luck pays off. And
So
now
true.
Tuba, with one cover map left in the pool, potentially able to take this point. It is Marcu's here. We will see if he can get that 4th point on this side of the board, but we'll have to see. I'm expecting a no 1-5 here. I'm expecting a no 1-5, no 1-3.
The big question for me, right? Does Tuba go Hard Rock 3 risking high BPM tapping, or does he go Hidden 1? Because
Yeah,
both are
that's my
valid
question as
options in
well.
my eyes.
Yeah, for sure. I do think, in my brain, I think you still probably have to go the Hard Rock 3 just because of how much more comfort you have on Hard Rock compared to Marcu, who is a pretty confident hidden player. But Marcu does go for the number 3. One of the 2 expected picks. Marcu definitely the advantage player on Alternator, but with how snappy this is, swing style, there are angles